I think it's 1020, 2040,
Probably.
4080.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you wanted to do a straight hedge or a percentage.
Just do a straight hedge. I guess.
Okay. That's fine.
So we're guaranteed
Roughly 1,000.
Roughly
1,000 per team.
1,020, I think, per team. Yes.
per team.
And the winner will be guaranteed 2,040 per team and playing for 4,000.
Right.
So we can do it any way you want. We can split. Let's see. It'll be guaranteed 2,000 per team. The winner.
The winner is guaranteed $2,000.
2,000.
Yeah, 2,040, I think.
Okay.
So that's
So we're guaranteed 500 each right now.
Right.
correct.
We could do 300 or 400 more to the loser to each person if you want.
Okay.
something like
Well,
that.
to each team or each person?
Well, you guys think we think as
Yeah,
one.
to us it's like one.
Yeah,
you know,
you think
we're,
as individuals,
this is the
we
same
think as
money.
one.
You know what I mean? Which is fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't change
So, yeah.
anything. Obviously.
Four-
Saying like
400 would be
1,600,
better
the
for
loser
you
can get like
guys.
1,600 instead of 1,000, which would be 800.
Okay, that's nice. So you
that
want to
good?
do like 600 total? Or
Well, you
16?
just,
We're
if
looking
you
for
win, you
one
just
more
throw us
player for $20. We
1,600.
need
If
one
we win,
player
we
ready to
pay
play
you
now.
1,600.
1,600?
No,
you
no,
mean,
no.
You mean
an
six-
additional 600.
Just 600.
Yeah, totally.
Just
Okay, so
600.
winner, we're doing a
Because we-
$600 hedge. So
Let's just say
okay,
600.
so the winner pays the loser $600.
Yeah, because
Sorry. Okay, that sounds good.
the loser's not getting
Are-
anything. Oh, no.
Are we good to go?
Yeah, 1,000.
Okay.
It's a 600 hedge.
Okay.
600 hedge.
Okay,
Okay.
Roll,
sounds
you want me to?
Go ahead. Yep, good match. Good match.
Good match.
Let's have an awesome time.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, 600 to the loser. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And these the right settings? I guess
Yes.
they are.
21
Taurus
minutes and
and-
15.
Okay, good.
Yep, good.
All right.
4-1. Okay. Clock.
I know.
4-point or 9-point?
4.
Oh.
I would go.
Yeah, I would too.
What do you think?
I would drop this.
I would too.
Okay.
Just a test.
Pass.
You passed. And you passed.
I thought he was telling me to scoot.
Yeah, get out of the way. That's true too.
That's,
And I was like, huh?
Okay, yep. You're out of here.
Yeah, that was short and sweet.
You're out of here. Good try.
1-0.
Hey, Backgammon fans, Bill Riles from Chicago. This is our last match streaming tonight. This is a doubles semifinal match between Dennis Culpepper and John O'Hagan against the mother-son team of Carrie Hoarty and Laura Hoarty. The Hoartys have they play a lot of doubles together and have had quite a good success rate. So this should be a kind of interesting match. Dennis and John both have been around a long time and rather very competent elite players. Kerry is a very good young player. He's 19 or 20 years old. His mother's an intermediate player, but you know, they play well together. But from a technical skill level, they're probably going to be really outmatched here. But hey, this is backgammon. You know, the dice influence a lot. Now, the winner of this will play in the finals, the doubles, against Amo Mortuck and Akimi Ota. So they await the winner. So it was a 32 team field, and we're down to 3. These two in the semifinal, and Amo and Akimi are waiting in the final already. So it's been a. Hope y'all have enjoyed the streaming today. I think. You know, we've had a lot of good commentary. Neil Kazaroff, Jerry Tanzi. O'Hagan was kind of coaching a couple of the younger guys, Ian Terry and Justin Knoll. I think we found a real He's a great young player, and he was great. And the commentary was Justin Knoll, and he just loved it. And he was multitasking. He was doing the commentary, commenting on positions and so forth, while multitasking and actually, transcribing into XG live as he was watching the match and doing the commentary. So, pretty impressive multitasking by him, and he was quite insightful, and he was pretty funny as well at times. So that worked out really great, and hope y'all enjoyed it. We'll have a full range of matches tomorrow, starting with round 11 in the championship, and that will be let's see, Alexandra is the only player with one loss left. Ray Bills, Victor Ashkenazi, and Kerry Hoarty, who's playing in this doubles match, are the only players with 2 losses. And so in that round 11, Alexandra will play Ray Bills, and Victor will play Kerry Hoarty. I've been joined here by Jerry Tansey. I'm going to hand this mic over to him and pick up the other one myself. I'm sorry, Jerry Tansey. Jack Adelson. Jack Adelson, I apologize. It's been a long day for all of us getting a punch drunk. So, I'm sorry, Jack Adelson. So, here's Jack.
All right, so let's see. It's Dennis and John that are up 1-0. So, a 6-3 here for... that looks right. You want to start the next point you can make. The 11 point doesn't seem that crucial. You block double 4s, but that's a super joker anyway. You just clear 2 points. So I like that first play they were looking at, but all right. There's can't be too much damage done here. Guess if you're hit, you don't want to have two blocked on your home board. 4-2, that's a bit of a tricky number. It's going to leave a shot. So if they hit with a 4, that leaves no good deuce. So unless there's a safe play I'm missing, probably just make the 4 point. Microphone here, so if you want to come in, you can.
Oh, I've got this one.
All right.
I've got the lapel mic, so
right.
I'm in good shape.
We gotta get mics and these guys in here, hear what the players are saying, but this is another option. The more I look at this, the more I like this play. At least putting the opponent in the air. You got lots of builders.
And there's not too much defense on the other side of the table for you to worry about if you get hit.
2 point board with the block. Yeah, the more I look at this, the more I like this play. So, love to hear what John is saying and pointing at right now.
We can't hear it, but typically depending on the relative volumes, but the streaming audience may well be able to hear it.
Maybe so. In that case, I should shut up and let them listen to Don O'Hagan and Dennis Culpepper and the Hoartys. As Victor walks over and sides his board and walks away. I mean, the 3 blots is not that big a concession here. I mean, you have a better board. So I think this is right. And that is entirely on the wrong side of the board here. You don't get bonus points for rolling both of them illegally. So this looks like a huge pass right now. 13 checkers in the attacking zone, 3 point board. I really can't see. I really can't see taking this. Laura has this concerned look on her face, and I would too if I was looking at this position.
Well, it's a 4 point. It's a good little problem.
Yeah, 2-0. No, yeah.
And drop indeed. Yeah, there's just too hard to come back from this.
XG has done that to me so many times.
It's another virtue of the hitting play by the Culpepper O'Hagan team. You quarter of the time they fan, and if you get a drop that quarter of the time, that's a free point for you. So 2-0 to 7. Modest edge for about a 60-40 edge here for Team White. Struggling to get a decisive result on the opening roll here. And 2-1. It's
No, slot.
I would definitely be slotting here, trailing. It's about even the decision when you're 0-0. So at down 0-2, you definitely slot, and definitely counter slot. Even up to 0-7, I would counter slot. But
Okay.
um,
Yeah, they're really close.
John and Dennis feel otherwise.
Enough to swing it a little bit, probably.
For money, you definitely counter slot. Usually when your opponent makes an aggressive play down or slot, you react in kind. When your opponent splits, you react in kind. But match scores can change that. 6-3 makes the 5-point. Small edge for the Hoarties in this game so far. 5-2. I would assume they bring the 2 down and pop out with the 5.
Go out.
11 points not particularly useful, but you might as well make it. And might as well pop out with the 5. 4-2 hits.
Come up to the 21.
And probably step up, bring the 2 down isn't really that much of a builder, and it strips the midpoint. Aces can't be bad. You're going to split with one of the aces, and you're going to hit with the other 2. The question is it a switch or strip the 6-point and leave a blot? Switching is clearly better, I would argue. You still got 3 builders to the 5-point. You're not stripping the 6-point. You're not leaving a shot. They're thinking about breaking the 11, but just splitting is a clear gain for no risk whatsoever. You're not giving up a sure asset in the 11-point. 2-1. Clearly enter with the 2. You want to keep the backmen split. There is an argument for lifting the blot with the ace, since you're putting a 3rd checker on the 8-point, where it is nice to have a spare, and you're saving 7s and some 8s from getting hit. And they are indeed looking at that play. Certainly worthy of consideration.
You could also split 6-5, but I think this looks best.
David Kettler also suggested the possibility of 6-5, although he's not advocating for it, and I agree that it's worth looking at but not playing. This is certainly. I was agreeing with you, David. Should they play bar 22?
You know, we're at a little bit of a
6-2 hits.
we got
Well,
spoiled.
really
We
good
got
reason to have lifted it, obviously.
we got spoiled during the day with Justin Knoll doing the commentary and doing the live transcription concurrently. So it was neat to have the XG output during the commentary.
Yeah, I can do one or the other. Actually, I have done both, and sometimes it went okay, and sometimes it decidedly did not. So credit to Justin Knoll for doing that. So this 6 is tough. This isn't pretty. You're breaking a good point to hit loose on the 2, but at the same time, you're pretty desperate for a tempo here, with the blots and the builders. So the hit was very reasonable. Here they can hit 2, and that seems probably right.
Well, put it back,
Because if you hit the 2nd checker,
Absolutely.
I mean, good things are going to happen. If they don't anchor up, it's a pass, and even if they do anchor up, they don't anchor up on the 3, it's probably a pass. You know, these checkers on the 11-point are there to make the 5-point.
That's all there's.
Yeah. Look at all those blots, put 2 up in the air, keep them from playing. Very, very
There
powerful.
they go.
And they found it. And now, this surely could not be taken. It surely could not be too good either.
Yeah, down 2-0.
imagine.
This is their opportunity to.
I mean, you cannot take this cube, I would think. Too many blots, 10 checkers in the zone. Down 2-0. This is just double pass, I think.
I don't like it either.
I don't think it's too good. No, but at the same time, if they anchor up on the 3, that's gotten them into take territory pretty easily. You do occasionally, they can get a back game out of it. They can get, there are too many ways that this can get turned into a big take too quickly.
Well,
Nothing in the air, it can't be too good.
It's a short match too, and probably John and Dennis are favorites, so they don't want to put big numbers in play. I think they just be cautious. And
I mean, I think objectively it's just a big drop. So 5-5, you have to hit and make the 3-point. This is pretty much always right with the opening reply double 5s when you can.
Yeah,
And there's a
I'll be
double
down.
5
I
and
can come down
reply.
there and she
So
does,
come around the
I'll be
corner
down
and
there
1
9:30 or
down.
10.
That no direct shots is the watchword here. You're outboarded 3-1. You just put the checkers in the most constructive place you can and don't leave a direct. 3-2. Splitting with a 2 makes sense. Just puts a bit of pressure on Black's position. You get more outfield fly shots.
I think with the better board, they want to slot the
It's both a builder and a black.
21
And
point.
so, like,
You got a better
Threaten
board
the
too.
guy.
Okay.
if we do this,
And maybe so.
and they roll very
David said, you got a better board.
3-1,
Maybe you go for it. Maybe you make the most aggressive play.
leave a direct shot.
I think the reverse split gives you plenty of action. Playing the 3 down's a tiny bit better, but
I like it now.
yeah, maybe splitting with the 3 gives you some more action. And they apparently feel the same way. And 5-4, now they're the very ugly candlestick play.
just stack city, and
But is there anything better than the candlestick play? You can hit on the ace to try to force them off of that. Double tiger play is a bit much with the 3-point board. I mean,
It is, but you're going to leave a hell of a lot of plots anyway, and this just everything.
yeah, but so you stack everything and you hope for a good roll. I think this is the right play.
roll a set.
But at the same time, you really got to respect the board. You've got to respect the difference in board strength.
11 in the zone.
Now they're going to make it 5.
They would probably make the
Yeah.
5. They don't want to
You
step up
don't
to
want
that bar.
it would be a huge blunder to step up to the bar, even if this wasn't a constructive play,
Right,
because
they play
you can't.
everything behind them.
When your opponent's stacked, you want to play for contact. You don't need anchors in this kind of position. It's a very common error to see people make anchors in this type of position. You want to keep all the action you can.
What's up, Bo?
2-1, it's a direct shot. They can slot the 3-point without hitting, leaving 12 numbers. And it is a slot per point that they want to make. Any point right now is a point you want to make. You'll need landing spots. You're ahead in the race,
This is the fewest shots.
and it is the fewest shots. Actually, the race is pretty close. 125 for Black. And White has 133. So White is down 8 after the roll. But Black's still just hoping to turn this into more of a racing type game.
Okay, I would do this, yeah.
This?
So I think this is a play. It's safer in the immediate run than 13-10, and it starts a point. That's a miss. Just keep those checkers. Yeah, you can step up with the ace. I don't know I don't really have a strong opinion on it. Does duplicate 3s if you're into that sort of thing. But that's not really that important in duplication because they're not hitting loose anyway. There's really no need to worry about duplication here.
Right.
I'm not sure which keeps more pressure on you. I mean, like, you're low, like,
I don't really have. I'm not smart enough to tell you how to play the ace.
I'm not sure.
Laura and Victor are having some sort of conversation.
Why don't we get 3s
Laura gives a
plus
thumbs up.
Numbers that enter, the other numbers at 2. 4, 2.
Maybe
All right,
Victor's,
don't ask me what's
maybe
going on
Victor's
there.
their lifeline or something like that.
We, in our effort to popularize backgammon, we have decided to take elements from popular television shows. So now you can call a friend and ask the audience, anything to add a little twist to it. No.
And they put the
3 back, 3 hits, and cover.
Yep.
Yes.
I didn't think of that number.
Carrie having to straighten mom out here every now and then.
I mean, you know,
Now Kemi is getting in on things.
You know, it's pretty. It's been a long day for everyone, though. It's
Yeah.
a lot of backgammon's been played, so I think you know, some of us are getting punch drunk here late in the day.
Makes the 2 point. You know, when you're stacked like this, any point is good. So 3 point, 2 point, beggars can't be choosers. They're good
Well,
points to have.
Certainly looking at across the board too at that other defense, you don't want to get hit. So.
All right, so now it's a 5 point board. Scary. And there's a safe play roll for now. I mean, you just got to respect the board and play safe. I mean, it's a simple game from here. When you have a safe roll, you play it. When you don't have a safe roll, you think about it.
that's all I see. I wish there was more.
9, 81, 87, 99 for black.
I didn't see it when it went 5-1. There you go.
6.
What happened to those big stacks you had?
Yeah, right. It disappeared.
Is that this game?
So
5-1.
there's a lot of laughing going on at the table. This is supposed to be a serious game, so cube action to be thought about here. 93 for black. 101 for white. So it's 8 pips. 93 101 is not normally a cube, but although it's very close to one.
They've got
it's right on the borderline.
some
for a
threats
double.
here, though.
But there are some threats, as you pointed out. The one checker back for Culpepper O'Hagan is a bit double-edged, right? And it's probably more favorable to black.
She's a talent scout.
Somebody else talking to him from behind. Is it
Reasonable initial
Akimi?
double, but probably wait. 4-2 makes the point.
See, that's
Checker's
a
starting to feel the heat a little.
right over Hagen's head is Akimi Ota, who her and her Emil Mortuck are already in the final. So Akimi's scouting the match here. You know.
Makes sense.
I think so.
That's why there's such interesting parties.
Whereas if we come out and they roll a 3, we got
I would.
So this is only a 6-pip lead, which normally is a clear no double in this kind of position. Still has to be taken. I'm not sure about the double. Probably is a double because of the threats and the threes. Yeah, you certainly don't leave the blot there. You don't need the closeout, you just need to win the race. 4-3 is just short of what they need. 4-1. No shots, no shots. Stay out. 4-3. Now you can bring 2 builders down and leave 3 shots, or only one less builder for 1 less shot. I might give them the 1 extra number to have the
Extra
third
builder.
It's only 1 extra number, but they would have gotten hit. So I don't know. I don't know what the right play was. I probably would have brought the 4-3 down.
16.
You get the odd gammon when you close them out.
Oh, 6?
Right, but for 1 extra number, if you can get the closeout for the few gammons,
4-2.
I think their play was probably right in retrospect.
Not much.
This might be a little quick to clear up. I'm not sure what they're considering with this 4. It seems to me that this is pretty clear. I mean, you're not going to pop out, and you're not going to break the board. You want to stay back and potentially get some shots at the straggler there.
You get a shot on double ones and 2 ones. You get a shot on 3 numbers here.
What am I missing here?
Ones that never get pointed on.
They can play to the 1
Because it's dangerous sitting there. You know, it's a guy.
Well, with Jack, I think you got to lay back.
What am I missing here?
Double shot and double ace.
I mean, yeah, maybe
you're
the idea
you're
is that they're
conceding
unlikely
that-
to leave a repeater, and that the best thing to do is race. But there was, I guess what extra numbers are thinking? You get 4-2 and 6-2 by staying back, and maybe one other number. So maybe they just thought there were too few numbers. They had a race.
Takes
I
some
don't
good
know.
rolling to win here. This is tough.
Well,
This is how you race.
gotta go to the whip here, and
It's still not looking up, but this is how you race. All right, 5 off.
one more set and they're in the ball game here.
This.
This is how you
Ooh.
race.
That's the hammer coming down.
54. 10 checkers are off in 3. That is
That's
very gin. Is beyond gin. 3-2.
3.
About 57% now for the Hoarties of Cincinnati.
You're originally an Ohioan, right?
Well, no, I lived there a
Oh,
short
yeah.
while.
Against 2 tournament veterans in Dennis Culpepper and John O'Hagan.
All right.
4-3. Really pretty well a matter of taste here. Maybe at 4 away, it's nice to play 2 down. 6-3. Clear here. You just hit him. Threes. Illegally played. Legally played. Now make the 3-point. You don't want to make the 5 and strip the 8, leave a stacked 6 and 3 blots outside with 3 back.
Well, I think
Could
you-
make
No, I
21.
think,
no, you
Yeah,
gotta
you-
unstack the 6,
You
make
want
a
uns-
point.
Yeah, there's you would anchor over making a homeboard point if there was like some sort of need for a defensive anchor right away, but you're not under threat, so an defensive anchor is less important. Well, you want to think offensively in this kind of position. Less so now. But even
Make
here, you
the
make
5
the 5
point.
point. Heard it's a very good point to have. Some of those books said that.
Okay. You read that somewhere?
Yeah. 3-2. It can hit on the 16 and put a. I wouldn't be so afraid of that. There are 4 checkers back, so it's harder to get attacked. And if the alternative is so unconstructive, I hit here all day. And this is why I get gammoned more than the average player. But I hit here all day.
You got 2 blocks if they just come in. And
Makes the race a bit better. It
Scramble.
hits.
I'd be inclined to wait.
I mean, it's kind of
It is
blood.
more fun. But at the same time, you're getting into a blot hitting contest when you're outboarded 3-1.
Yeah. And
So,
all right, so
what is all this laughter at the
I
board?
want that 4. I think. I mean,
Okay.
that's a good.
My God!
And then
Wait,
there's
I'm-
only
I mean, what about considering this? Because
no,
I mean,
no.
but I mean,
Okay.
yeah, leave it if you want to. I mean, they have to give up the anchor to hit you, so.
I mean, the problem making this is that you're disconnecting, right?
This is look at the.
They have a 5 to play now, or is this it?
5 to play
So
down.
we don't
Yeah, so it would come down, and then you're awfully disconnected, but at the same time,
running that. You know what I mean?
there's no real, and I think that's what Carrie's talking about, is the disconnection factor here. But at the same time, you have a better board, so when you're hopping around leaving shots, you do have that protection. So I think the 9-point was a good play here. Certainly the 5-point was a good play here.
Tara said she doesn't need to be quite as loud,
Okay.
but I mean, you can keep it up close, but don't not quite as volume. You have to keep it up close.
I'm from New York. I can't reduce the volume.
People have volume controls on their computers, right?
Exactly.
We could turn these stacks into points too.
That's
We
right.
saw, we took
You
notice
saw
of
how
how
it
you
works.
did that. And look at
I
those
have
in
no
2
inside
rows.
voice. So
right.
5-1
And
here.
stick to Mr. Smoothie.
2 probably. Simple slot next point.
Stacks are the way to win.
Nothing better to do.
Okay, probably just say.
Soon I was bragging. As soon as I start bragging,
Probably
right back
easier.
to stacking.
What was that?
We could
Putting
do
down
that.
is not such a big
Can't hit
game.
and cover, but
It's worth
you're right.
Actually, because 6-3 is
eight
good. 6-3 is
hitters.
a good, great
thing.
number anyway.
Well,
Comes
there
out
is the
to
bottom
hits.
board, but
I
I would
think I like
play
it.
6.
Yeah.
I'm not
Putting it
sure.
in play.
Certainly something to be said for that.
Ooh.
Double 4s.
Ace point.
Not that great. It makes
So,
it slots the ace and
make
makes
the
the
ace
deuce probably.
Yeah.
Could just make the ace as well, as you said. There's 2 builders for the ace versus 1 for the deuce. So making the deeper point is okay. You don't need it for contact right away, and then
Six and one.
Yep.
you're more quicker to make the 5-point board.
Okay.
32.
So,
2, 3.
yeah. Yeah. And we have to step up. But it looks like we're stepping up for
I
2.
forgot whose 3-2 it was. I was like,
Yeah, this is good.
So 2 in. This is the problem with being a bit disconnected, right? You're whoever gets control of the outfield first is going to be in control of this game, and it looks like it's going to be white that controls the outfield first, which is why we're thinking about doubling here.
Or 6 and get out.
Um,
And then we might not roll.
even a 5 is a double-edged sword.
Yeah, I agree. Not a,
I still think it's a bit too early, and I agree.
all right, I'd say out with both.
So 6-3.
Coming out with both.
Yeah, get that outfield control.
6,
It's,
5,
when you control the outfield in this kind of position, you control the whole game.
6, 6, and 6, 5. Even then, you got a blotch to shoot it, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Pop out, fight for that outfield. Also, there's no other play. 6s and 9s hit. Don quickly makes sure that Dennis is on the same page about not doubling. There's a 6 and a 9. Hits. And now they fan, and I think the race lead is sufficient that they can consider doubling. 63, 87, 107 for white. 67, 85, 100, 109, 113. So it's only 6 pips. I'm not sure about this double, but it's a very easy take, I think. The only problem, right, the problem is obviously you don't always enter with the kinds of numbers. You know, you could have like say a 1-5 or 1-4 that, or 1-4 is fine, but 2-5, 3-5 that make you kill checkers. But at the same time, you're only down 6 pips. It would be in a straight race. This is a clear no double take. Even in the air, with some awkward entering numbers behind the prime, I cannot see dropping this. But Carrie thrashed me this week, so what do I know?
You let it go.
All right, I disagree with that, but I look forward to XG proving me wrong. Yeah, that's why I like commentating. Just say whatever I want, and then I say I'm probably wrong, so that whatever happens, I was right.
When we have we don't like flutter. We prefer.
Well, and that's what's so great about backgammon is the subtleties, intricacies, different opinions by different players, different styles of play. It just lends itself to that sort of, variance.
3-1 point, 6-5 run. All pretty standard stuff so far. 6-3, you're going to split and down. Pretty much always the right play in this kind of situation. 2-1, hit and down.
Which blotch?
Of course, it hits here. Probably the
Bar.
Maybe outside.
I think it is here. Because
Yeah, probably the bar. It's
whereas
too
if
easy
you
for
do
them
here,
to
they have all kinds of numbers.
make
back.
something
The ones they
good.
don't
Yeah.
enter
And
on
if they hit you,
can't enter
you're
on
you're also
back.
you're creating more returns for the other side if you hit on the bar. It's true, but you've got a better board, so you don't mind the blot hitting contest. So I agree with Bill. I would have made a different play than Dennis Culpepper and Don O'Hagan, and I think he probably means it wrong. But 1-5 hit. Now they're thinking about a double from the roof here. Four way. It's certainly not crazy, but it's only a 2-point board and on the bar. I don't really think this is enough. It's Charlie Haley from Bloomington, Indiana looks on.
Here it comes.
Dennis and Don disagree with me. Easy scoop, I would say.
Game on.
Double fours, not a bad missing number. Makes a 10-point and
4 point.
what do you want? The 4-point makes the 10-point look kind of silly. It's 6 away from that, but at the same time, it's the best point you can make. So yeah, 2-1 just makes it 5. Now this cube's looking decent. 42, not the best, but you just come down and diversify. Yeah. $54. Got a hit, yeah. You don't love getting 2 blots against a shorter board. That's where we won a block, but you can't win. It's hard to win from there once you made the ace point. You know, if you hit with the 5, bring the 5 down, you have a nice structure. You're unsacking this 8, the mid. I don't know. Maybe this is right. Because you know, maybe your game plan is to just try to keep them on the bar and escape your checkers.
Yeah, they're really favorites to make the back of that prime.
This could be match over in a little while. Double 5s
Yeah, we're in
makes the prime from the front instead.
we're in serious territory for the Hoarties here.
Getting the you want to anchor on the deuce point. It'll cut down on gammons to have the slightly more advanced anchor. No. You are not breaking the 5 point. I don't know if you're touching the second message. Are you thinking about that, Carrie? No, you're not. Good. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're the audience. We want to see exciting plays. But no.
6 out? Yeah. Maybe. I'll look at one more. We'll figure
You know,
this
just for the record, I didn't mention it earlier, but Kerry, you know, 19, 20 years old, young guy, great player. He's one of the 4 remaining players with 2 or fewer losses in the championship
That is
division.
true.
So he's playing.
It's 1 block. You're still keeping
He plays Victor Askenazi in the morning, round 11. Alexandra plays Ray Bills, and Victor plays Kerry Hoarty. So he's quite an accomplished young player.
And Carrie and Laura have done very well in a number of doubles events, and I've talked to both of them, and they both contribute a lot and feed off of each other and catch each other when they're making silly mistakes, as we all do. And
Well, you know, they're in the middle of kind of a ABT American tour here. They're trying over a calendar year, or a 12-month period anyway, trying to make every ABT tournament.
yeah, I know. Obviously, they can't do both of the.
Next weekend, or 2 weeks, whenever it is.
Yeah, when they're 2 simultaneous, and Laura cannot make it to Sacramento, unfortunately.
Okay.
That's another new tournament you guys should check out. There's a new ABT event in Sacramento the weekend of, I believe, the 21st, 22nd, or whatever it is of June.
Right.
And I will be there. I'm looking forward to checking out that new event. lots of other good stuff on the calendar as well.
Well, and that's kind of important because we lost the event in the Bay Area.
Right.
So having one in
Sacramento's
Sacramento
important.
kind of fills that void a bit.
Double fours is really good. I mean, this is the kind of situation where you really need you may be able to race off the gammon, but probably not. Speaking of Sacramento, Mona has done a tremendous job of creating a club from nothing there and building a local community there. So the ABT event's the next logical step, but I'm sure it'll be a good one. So double fives were a nice roll to possibly be able to save the gammon, but double sixes makes that harder.
Offsets that.
6-4, you run out with the 6, and I would just get the efficient crossover. You still have decent chances, some chances to run off of this thing.
Don't waste a single pip inside if you can't help it.
Double twos is nothing special.
But nothing off either, so it helps the Hoarties save.
4-1, come around the corner. No wasted. 6 blot numbers right away. This is one of them. Some excitement. Will they roll a 2 or will they not? Yes, they do. Moves the 2 with alacrity.
2
Now
and bring
5.
it in. Bring it into the bar.
Okay.
I think so. The problem is you're paying to 2-5 and 2-6. It's not the 2-5 you're paying to. You're also paying to 2-6. And this gives you good outfield coverage.
True.
Because they're going to have to win this game, they have to roll a 2 and get out safely. So I actually, more than I think about it, the more I like the outfield play.
They're counting. What's he got,
4
4 off?
Now, there's an elevated take point here. You only can take, you need about 34, 35% to take. So this would be a clear no double for money, but I think this is a good double at the score. If you close out 4 checkers, it's about, I should have these tables memorized, I think it's like 18%. You're pretty far from a closeout, but are you so far that they have 34%? I think this is double pass at the score.
I wouldn't be surprised. And I also think, again, this is the sort of situations where maybe people's evaluations of own comparative and relative skill levels and experience levels come into play. I think John and Dennis wouldn't be nearly as excited about putting the match on the line in this kind of situation against Carrie and Laura as they might be against more experienced opponent. So I'd look at them. I wouldn't be surprised to see them drop this.
I mean, I think they'll drop it because they think it is a drop. I mean, Carrie and Laura in their recorded matches and doubles frequently play in threes.
I've not looked at the results.
I mean, Carrie himself, will by himself, is probably somewhere in the fours, right? So, but I think this is just an objective pass.
You want to roll? No.
So, let's give him the match score. And kudos to the Hoarties for noticing that, being aware of the match score, giving that good cube, and same for Dennis and John in recognizing that a cube they could take for money, they can't take here.
And now this is a score that the audience should recognize. 2-away, 4-away
two-away,
is quite an interesting
double
score.
Anything that's really basically if you improve a bit over the opening situation and you still have some gammon chances, you're doubling, and a lot of stuff that's even no double for money becomes big fat pass territory at score. Hidden split is clear here. Double fours. Gotta hit. At least once.
At least one. Maybe both.
Maybe
there
two.
you go.
Maybe see if you can sneak a third one up the bar if they don't notice. 3-2. Already you have to think for a moment about the cube,
Exactly.
although I don't think this is
I don't
one.
think it's there, but
It's
they're
probably
getting in
very
that
close
territory.
to one.
They're getting into that territory.
Any improvement from here, I'm cubing. 6 to 3 to 1 to go all out with the I'm 4 away, I'm blitzing mindset? I think so. If you hit with the 3 on the other side of the board, you just keep it going, I guess. Nothing special. Why not make a homeboard play?
I make the homeboard play and
keep going as the
try
other
to put some, enhance that double potential
Yeah.
there at this score.
It is ultra committal.
And you make a
It
good
is
point
ultra
there.
committal.
You cover this, 6 and 1s can't be used to entering the cover. So, yeah, I guess if you
I would hit, I think, and keep going.
Oh, they're going
Maybe
the
a
other
bit too committal for these players. Because you're making the ace point in a game where you may not complete that blitz, so I understand the reluctance.
Really wanted to anchor this.
And even with this exchange, they probably enhance their gammon potential.
Yeah, I mean 3 back to 2 versus 2
Right.
to 1. I mean, there's certain game plans that you just, are trying to avoid. You don't want to get into a block hitting contest. You certainly don't want to be playing a back game.
You're right. They're in there.
I would do this.
I would be awfully tempted to make the anchor at score. I know the triple split is sort of a very resilient sort of structure, but and it's very hard to get closed out when your opponent's on the bar and whatnot. You're not going to get pointed on, but still,
But here, it's kind of a game
Tempted
and
to make the
save
anchor.
situation for them to.
Yeah, I mean, their idea is that they can probably get an anchor next turn, which is very, very true. But I'd be very tempted to just locked it up last
direct
turn.
communication with this, so if they hit and leave a checker there, we can hit back with
Split, right? There's one that lays to play, and
One that's left. Yeah,
I would
I'd
just split.
Yeah.
yeah.
It seems far more constructive than 16-15 or 6-5. Even if you're mostly thinking forward, if you have a roll that doesn't do much for going forward, you just get the back guys moving.
There's the anchor we were talking
And
about.
2 down or 2 up. Down is certainly the play I'd make for money.
I don't think that's
Because 24-22 isn't constructive. When you have 3 checkers back, you don't really care one way or the other. You don't necessarily want to
You
get
don't
hit,
want
but
to
you
give
don't
them
mind
that.
it.
You don't want to give them that free couple of points behind them.
Yeah.
Just for them to have that.
I mean, a holding game, 13-11 is the normal play.
You want to do this? I'll do this.
The only concern here is, as we said, the match score. And I'm pretty sure if it were not for the match score, it would have been 2 down there.
Yeah.
That makes the 10 point and steps up. 3-2, probably just a safe play now.
Safe play. It's kind of ugly. Boy,
This is too big.
asking for the asking for it.
This
no.
is too big. For money, sure.
You were saying too big. I thought for a second you said too big. It might be.
Oh, maybe so, Bill. I think this is too big.
Yeah, I agree. Now,
I mean, match score doesn't mean you can't take any risks, but you have to make sure that
a judicious risk.
you have judicious risks for the score. You'd much rather be playing a 4-point holding game than some sort of 3-4 hybrid holding game back game at the score.
Now, is it, at what point does it reach perhaps too good for John?
This is not too good. This is.
I agree, but at some point you cross that threshold, though,
Yeah.
potentially.
I mean, this is probably a take, I think. Although I'm not sure. Just given the weirdness of 2-way forward.
We should give it.
But to me, you got a double. You've got a chance to put a 4 checker up in the air.
He snatched it. It hardly almost took it out of John's hand.
I mean, you're playing a 4-point holding game in most situations. Even a 3-4 game doesn't get gammon too much. You're not going to be looking to play it as a pure back game. So the take is very reasonable. I was less sure of it than Carrie and Laura were, but the take is very reasonable.
But they get a rather poor roll here.
5-2 is kind of. I mean, if you know you're not going to get gammon, you're very happy to take the 2 cube because the value of 2 points is actually greater for the leader than the trailer. It's just the value of 4 points is so astronomical. But you, in a last roll position, you have an underdog double as the leader. This means you get so much more efficiency out of those 2 points. This is again threatening to go south pretty fast. But again, still probably not going to get Gavin, although that is certainly looking more possible than earlier.
Make that. Now they've broken 6 prime. They're going to have 4 checkers behind it. And again, a fairly awkward roll.
How do you play this at this score?
You don't need that.
You put 4 on the 21 point?
Yeah.
Boy, I'm not sure about that. But
I mean, the money play for sure is hitting on the 5. I mean, for money, you're hitting on the 5 point. Because you want to unstack and bring things forward. And you're okay with getting hit for money. At this score, to me, you just tidy everything up. When you start getting 5, 6 checkers back behind the prime, like Culpepper and O'Hagan have, you're asking for gammons. 8 to 7 looks pretty horrific. So I think this has got to be what you do. They do it. 6 ace. Back guys are blocked. So by process of elimination, this is the play. 1s and 6s everywhere.
It's fairly. Man, they've
2.
had 3 or 4 awkward rolls in a row.
1 and this is all very double-edged. They might be better off hitting 2. It's fewer shots probably.
Yeah, 13,
1
12,
extra
7.
block. There's no purely safe play. I mean, you do want to win the game. I would. This is another option.
I'm going to leave
Leave
the blot. I'd hit the 2 outside.
One block play.
Yeah. This is my play.
I just don't like it to have ones to hit.
But since you're not likely to stay out, I'm okay with 3 blocks. Because you have time to clean up. Right? You hit. Let's say they do roll an ace and hit 1.
Because if you want.
Then you have time to clean up the block next turn. So the 3 blocks are less of a liability.
This is a better ace if we're covering because it's only 1 block.
I think he was hesitant to give up the mids and scatter them out there.
I don't know that you need the mid. You got the 11. I don't know. I think hitting 2 is better than that, but.
Once again, no good 1.
Yeah, again.
Just play it in.
Just coming up.
Yeah, I think
An advanced anchor.
Or there.
Yeah, I hit.
It's a harmless ace. 5, 4. Another.
What do you think?
Another one where they can hit on the 12 point.
Hit on the 12 point and then gets one of those back checkers.
Yeah. Also, what else is there?
Yeah, and you get one of them out.
Yeah, you get 1 checker and there's no other play. So when there's no play B, you should make play A. I sometimes manage to find play C in
And
those
the
situations,
dance.
and there's a
There.
fan.
That hurt.
And this is giving the Hoarties a chance to move forward here. And double 5s is not a bad roll. How do you play it? You're going to hit.
1 for sure. You got to get at least 1.
Bring
out.
1 out.
You can make the 3 point and bring 1 out to the 16, or you can. I like keeping the anchor.
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say
think they'll
what's
make
wrong
the
with
3 and just bring 1 out.
I like keeping an anchor in their board. I get this. You're getting out. They're thinking win the game right now, and they're right
2-1,
to be
there you
thinking
go.
about winning the game. Again, you're not just thinking about saving a G. But I do like keeping the anchor. Anyway, 3-1.
Make the 4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
pointy. All of a sudden, it's the other side being blitzed. And
Dance.
they, you know,
Oh, double
the more you dance on 2 or 3 point boards, the more of these blitzes are going to work. 6-3
Make
points
the
again.
5.
Oh, sweet.
They need an anchor in a hurry.
And they're, well, no, they had 2 on the
up.
bar.
Yeah.
This is why I like to spread out those checkers on the bar. I
Yeah.
know how many I've got on the bar. You know, when I have 9 in the air and you stack them up, it's like,
I like that.
well, they'll probably fall onto the board, and I'll have only 4 in the air. All right.
Okay, they need to make one of those to
Nope.
ensure extending this game.
Straight one around.
Not
Probably
really.
nothing
Yeah.
too bold here at 16-12.
Dance again, but that
This is,
that
pretty
3-1
bad.
bought another roll probably for them.
Someplace safe.
There's something to be said for like 13-9 here, just because the other plays are so unconstructive. But 13-10, 12-11
Yeah.
is pretty good too, and that's no shots.
There's nothing. You're absolutely
And that's lots of builders for the bar
For
or
the
9
bar.
points. Those you really would rather make them 3 or 2 points, but 7 and 9 are probably good.
2-8.
So Culpepper, I think, is threatening to roll a 3-7 from the bar.
That's
Is that
exactly
what they were talking about?
what I thought. 3-7 from the bar.
Isn't that Ray Fogerland's number? So 5-4
Ray
here.
tries to pull that one off every now and then, but few let him get away with it.
But not, I mean, oh, do you want this?
And I'm in a particularly generous mood I do. So what do you do with this 5-4? You can break the 9 point. I mean, you're just trying to just win the game, right? So there is something to be said for just coming off.
Well, here go. How about 13-4?
Right there. That's the play.
I agree with David Kettler here.
Well, then you got all the ammo in the world at the bar point.
Yeah, you don't really need the closeout. You'd like the closeout because then wins more games, but it seems like the smoothest way to bring it home. There are no shots whatsoever.
Okay, so what about for
How about that and 13-8?
You ends up having to break and come off of there.
No, I don't.
What is this
I don't like this at all.
I mean, if you're going to play the 4 and you do come down with the 5.
Yeah, exactly.
I do prefer coming off the 16 just because it seems to just come home very easily.
That's just another builder.
yeah, but this
But
is,
I would not be too opposed to 13-8 and 10-6.
Yeah.
we're always able to.
But I think I like David's play.
Okay.
This play I
no,
do not like
I
at
do
all.
not like that at all. What their thought process
So,
was.
everyone here agrees. And double 6s kind of makes it immaterial. Aces?
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
It's you know, it's more of a National League kind of thing, you know, the double switch, you know.
Okay.
But 5-2 fans.
Bring on the troops.
6-3, and now you can certainly be as bold as you like.
Give them the double 4.
Six down for sure. No, I meant the other 6 down. And then it probably would have come to the same because I would have wanted to do that. This is no shots, and it's a builder for both the 3 and the 4. The other option is 8-5, but that gives them
It's
double
a double
4s.
4 joker.
And that is quite the joker. So I think this was right. 54
That's the
just makes the
bar,
3
Or
point.
make the 3. Probably make the 3.
Do you make the
It
3?
gives you the double 4 again, but you could have made
You
the
probably
bar.
make the 3. You don't want him coming in and anchoring on the 3, for sure. The deeper point. They want the deeper point. So I think that play is right. 2-1 pick and pass.
Absolutely.
You know, don't want them making that. 51 and big trouble for Culpepper O'Hagan. 4-3, they can get
Take-
another
yeah.
builder, but they can also just put an end to
Take
this
the
double 4
double
stuff
4 stuff away from
and
them.
then bring the 4 down, and that
Right,
also gets them a new builder.
right. Just
The 3 builders, no jokers. Life is good. It's good to be a Hoarty right now. So 4-3. They're closed
There
out.
it is.
And now,
Curtain.
now John can put his feet up and relax for a bit. Doesn't have to roll. 6-3. Lands in a
Good.
pretty good spot. That should be pretty
Perfect
safe.
there.
42 to stack the 3-point, or do
Stack
you clear
the
the
3.
6? You can
all you
clear
got,
the 6.
all you got to do is win.
You can clear the 6 though,
Win, clear the 6.
and I think this is better.
Perhaps so.
You'd
Thing people have to remember in this sort of situation, all you have to do is win,
Yeah.
right? Gammons
And
don't mean anything, just win.
Stacking the 3, it kind of puts an awkward place. You roll something like a 6-1,
Correct.
you wind up like if you visualize
You want
it,
'em
you stack
in.
the 3 and then you roll a 6-1. It gets kind of ugly. If you play 7-1, you're blotting on double 6s, double 5. So I actually like clearing the 6-point.
Well, like
This is
David
very
said,
purdy.
like David said, it lets them start coming in too, and you want them in.
I mean, if they roll double 6 and you roll double 1s, well, that's 1 in 1296.
Yeah.
Even then, they still are in a favor to hit you. Double 5s.
Okay, just
4-2, so
2 in, 4 off.
yeah. Very safe, very even, very clean.
No, 2 in, 4 off. There you go. Perfectly safe for this roll and the next roll. Ideally.
5-3. Keep cleaning it up. 3 checkers certainly can punch back. So you want to keep it
they're in the game to
as-
the end, as Bob Wachtel would say.
for different reasons.
For a different
than
reason.
I'm not sure about that ace, but might be right. I haven't read Michi's book, so which I've heard you should read.
Michi's here this weekend selling them too,
Yeah.
so get yourself a personalized,
this is poor.
personalized autograph.
And this is one of the reasons I think you want
Right.
the checker on the 3.
This is probably the last key obstacle, this roll.
That's safe.
Safe.
Dice on checkers is legal. 1 in, 1/3 of the danger. Not really exactly, but 5-3.
So
And will
just
we?
vulnerable to a lot of doubles, but more likely to just clear the
2s
3.
or higher are bad. 2s are the worst, of course. 5-6, and now stay out could
They
make this
come
a little
in, it's
interesting,
over.
but they probably won't stay out, and they do not. And that's the match. And the Hoarties go through to the finals, where they will play
Kimiota and Emil Morton.
Kemi and Emil. All right, should be an interesting match.
Okay, folks, and that concludes our streaming for today. Join us tomorrow starting at, I don't know, 11 a.m., 12 a.m.? When's it start? 11:30? Okay, 11:30 we think play starts. So join us then. We've got a lot of finals, some great matches coming up. So good night to all, and we'll talk again tomorrow. Thank you, sir. Very good.
That was, yeah. The sequence for us to get that under control was the good part.
Did you think it was easy to take?
Yeah.
For sure?
No. My guess was it was.
I mean,
even if we only had 15% it's a 3-point every time. Move those guys. Pretty bad. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. You look at the luck factor of the cash, the probably luck factor. I thought they played well too. They rolled right. We just rolled so
Well, no, but still, did you win? It's a understandable remark. That's two guys You might as well. Yeah. Everything gets